So today I thought I would do a bit of an update on my running because I've not really filmed that much recently. So I'll be talking a little bit about my diet, my new training plan, and also my goal for my next marathon. After running the Amsterdam Marathon, I've not really had time off. I've gone straight into marathon training again. So last week I did a 23k, today I'm doing a 26. So I'm just going to do a bit of a catch up. So after my last marathon, everything kind of felt good. Training didn't go so well for my last marathon, but I still felt quite good afterwards. I wasn't really struggling to walk too much. I wasn't too achy, and touch wood, no injuries or any sort of pains. So I feel like my training does work well, including strength training. I go to the gym, so that's all good. So I'll be continuing with that. In terms of diet, I wouldn't necessarily want to call it diet because I feel like personally diets don't really work in a way, because they're usually short-term kind of goals and outcomes. So for me it's more like a lifestyle change that I'm aiming, but I kind of will use the word diet in terms of like food and the changes I've made and trying to make. I've spoken about this before. I kind of feel like over the last maybe 5 years or so I've just been slowly putting on weight and just getting heavier and everything due to probably age, because I feel like the things I eat and the things I eat I don't feel like has changed over the years, and I feel like I'm more active with running and going to the gym, but somehow I'm still putting on weight, which is the problem. And I've been getting frustrated and getting to the point where I'm just fed up with the weight gain and feeling heavier, looking heavier in pictures. Just got to a point where I'm just fed up with it and really want to do something about it. I really want to make a change. I've also talked about trying to eat more protein because I don't eat meat, so it's been kind of difficult for me to include protein enough, but I feel like I'm getting to a point where it's okay. I'm not going to continue to stress about it and feel rubbish about not eating enough protein, because I feel like I'm conscious to eat more and also try to include protein in every meal that I have every day. I feel that's good enough and I feel like it has made a difference, so I'm just going to continue to make the effort and consciously eat more protein, but I'm not going to kind of just focus on it and just feel bad about not eating enough protein, because I think it's okay for now. Despite the protein situation being okay, I still feel like I wasn't losing weight and still even like getting heavier and feeling fatter. So then I decided to tackle carbohydrates. I know as a runner people always say you shouldn't cut out carbs, you should eat enough carbs for your training and give you enough energy, which I agree. I'm not saying I'm cutting out carbs, I'm just having less and finding other foods that can replace carbs to keep me full and give me energy. I've probably been actively doing it properly for maybe 2 or 3 weeks now, and I definitely feel the difference. So I feel like I'm going in the right direction in terms of my carbohydrate intake. So I would keep eating carbohydrates kind of on, I wouldn't say necessarily a daily basis, but a weekly basis. I would have carbs, so I would have kind of a sandwich maybe here or there. I'd have pasta, pizza, burgers, so kind of carb heavy foods during the week sometimes, and on the weekends as well, especially. It's not excessive, but regularly I would kind of have carbs, which I probably don't really need. Like I said, I don't eat that much, but I feel like my body doesn't need it, and I can feel my body just holding on to all the carbs I'm eating, if that makes sense, and just over time it's just for some reason not leaving my body. So since consciously cutting down on carbs the last 2 or 3 weeks, I have lost a little bit of weight, not much, and I'm not going to focus on losing actual weight that much, because in a way I don't really care that much about my weight on the scales. I'm more worried about how I feel. Not worried, but that's more I want to focus on, how I feel rather than what the scales are telling me, because with going to the gym and all that, I know I'm building muscles and I keep trying to lift heavier, so I know my muscles are going to hopefully get bigger, which means probably going to fluctuate. So it's not so much what the scales are telling me. Like I say, I haven't lost a lot of weight, but I just feel lighter in the last 2-3 weeks by cutting out carbs, cutting down on carbs. I just feel less bloated. I feel like my body's not holding on to water, and I feel like a lot of it was probably water weight, and all the flab and chub on me just felt like it's kind of gone a bit. I'm not saying it's made a huge difference and I look very different, but to me how I feel has improved a lot. I feel like my clothes are less tight, everything just feels like clean. I don't know how to describe it. I mean, maybe leaner is the way to describe it. I just don't feel so chubby and swollen. Yeah, so it's made quite a big difference. Trying to run up a hill and talk is not a good idea, so I'm just going to walk for a little bit and finish on what I'm trying to say. So I feel like just cutting down on carbs without kind of eating a lot less than I normally would is just replacing the carbs with other healthier options. So like I say, I'm not cutting out carbs completely, it's just finding healthier alternative to kind of replace the carb portion. I still, like I said, I still eat carbs. Like this morning I had 2 pieces of white toast with butter to prepare for this run, give me energy. So I'm not cutting out completely, but just being conscious and yeah, eating less on a day-to-day basis kind of really made a difference, and I'll definitely continue with that. Energy wise, I don't feel like I have less energy. I mean, I'm usually tired anyway, but I feel like having less carbs hasn't really affected that, and actually I feel like I might have done the opposite, because usually when I have carbs and maybe 2 hours later I would kind of feel like I think where they say about your energy spike and then your energy level drops after your carbs have digested, or if you eat too much sugar, that kind of thing. So I feel like I don't have those up and down spikes as much since eating less carbs, which has been really good. I've consciously been eating more fruit as well. I know fruit can be carbs because it's sugar, but it's healthy sugar. Yeah, I just feel like overall I feel better in terms of energy levels and also how I feel. I'm not sure about how I look because I don't feel like I ever look that good, but how I feel in my clothes and within myself just feels good. And it's only been kind of 2 weeks really. I think 3 weeks ago I kind of really started thinking what else I can do to make a change, because the protein situation just isn't working and I just wasn't feeling good. So yeah, it's only really been 2 weeks, but it's made a difference. So yeah, I feel like I've been talking about this topic for a long time, but I just want to kind of say how much small changes can make a difference in life, and also just being patient with it. Obviously the first day trying to do it, you kind of in your mind be like, yeah, tomorrow I'll feel great, but it doesn't quite work like that. It takes a little bit of time, but as soon as you start seeing progress and feel the difference, it really motivates you to continue to be healthier and do the right things to fuel your body right. Obviously I'm still eating my jelly babies to fuel my run, so definitely not cutting out all the carbs. Next up, marathon training plan. I've been using the Runner app for the last 2 years. I really enjoyed it, still really enjoy it, but I've made a little change this time round. When I signed up for the Runner app, that was when I was training for my first marathon. Didn't really know what I was doing, didn't understand kind of all the different paces and the different types of run, like long runs, tempo runs and marathon pace runs. I just didn't understand any of it, so I decided to give Runner a go. I signed up for the 2-week trial and really enjoyed it because it was just so easy. I just had to kind of pick my plan, kind of the intensity of the plan, how quickly I want to achieve those goals, how many times I run a week, etc. It was so easy to set up, and what I really liked is that I could sync it to my Garmin watch and all the runs would be there ready to go. Really enjoyed it. So when it came for renewal after the first year, I signed up again. So I've been using it for the last 2 years, and because I liked it so much, I signed up for the whole year to save a bit of money as well. So it was £99.99 for the whole year. So yeah, done that for 2 years. Really enjoyed it, but this time, because I feel like I understand all the different runs a bit more and kind of how a training plan should work, and so I feel like I don't necessarily need to sign up for Runner again. So one reason I'm changing is to save some money, and I mean, over a year is actually not too bad from what you get out of it, but yeah, one reason is to save some money, and the other reason is I just kind of want to try and do it myself a little bit and get more involved in the planning, and kind of work out my own paces in a way and what I want to go for, and also depending how I feel that day and that week, I want to kind of have I mean, I still had the flexibility, but I kind of want to be a little bit more in control with my training plan. So it kind of doesn't make sense to pay for an app that has it all set out if I'm just going to make changes to it. So I've decided to try out the Ben Park's training plan this time. I've heard very good things about it. I love Ben's videos, and there's been a lot of positive feedback on his training plans, and it's only £8 to download, and you can reuse them over and over again and make your changes to it. So I decided to give that a go and try it out. I've been using it for the last 3 weeks now, and it's been going very well. It's really easy to follow. There are pages of information and description about the training plan and how to kind of prepare you for your marathon. It's very helpful. The plan comes both in miles and kilometers, which is also really handy, because I know everyone has a preference on whether they want to run by mile or kilometer. I'm a kilometer person, so that's very good. And the way it's laid out into a table, it's just very easy to follow, and explains all the different paces and the different types of run. So far it's been really good, really enjoying it. I'll probably do more of an in-depth review about it later on, maybe after I've done my next marathon, because I've only been using it for 2-3 weeks now, so it's not long enough to know kind of how it's going, but so far it's going really well. It does take me a little bit of time to work out my weekly runs and then putting it onto my Garmin, but once you kind of get the hang of putting all those in on Garmin, it's actually really easy, so it doesn't actually take that long. Got to 13k and just turned around, so I've done halfway and I still feel quite good actually. I feel energy wise quite good, my feet okay. I'm running in the Asics Nova Blast 4. I think I'll be carrying on running in the Nova Blast for marathons. They just seem to be the ones that work for me. So yeah, Nova Blast 4 in training, and I'll probably run in the 5s in my next marathon. And talking about next marathon, I'm going to talk a little bit about my goal for the next marathon. So my marathon goal for this year was to run a sub 5 hours. I had 2 marathons planned this year, but ended up only running 1 because I was injured early in the year. Just wasn't going well training for the Newport Marathon in April, so I didn't run that one, but I did run the Amsterdam Marathon, and I ran it in 5 hours and 2 minutes. So not quite sub 5, but considering how training went and the traveling and all that, I'm happy with the result, because it was still a 20-minute PB compared to my Chicago Marathon, which was 5 hours 22. So my goal for the next marathon is a sub 5 hours. I feel like if I keep up with the training and training goes well, I'm confident I can run a sub 5 hour marathon next. But I'm running the Hong Kong Marathon in January. I think the route is not flat at all, quite hilly, quite a lot of uphills and downhills, and I think we ran over 2 bridges maybe, and there's always inclines on any bridge, so it's not going to be a flat course. So that's one reason I think I might not be able to run a sub 5 hour marathon. Second reason is it's potentially going to be quite warm there. January and February in the UK it's usually freezing cold. It's like usually the coldest 2 months of the year, usually below freezing in the minus. Sometimes we still get snow in March, so it's going to be really cold here. But then going to Hong Kong, it could potentially be up to 20 degrees Celsius, which is not ideal because I'll be training in the cold weather here and then going to run a marathon in a lot warmer temperatures. So that's one thing. And the other thing is it could be quite humid that time of the year as well. I mean, it's very humid in the summer, definitely. And you would have thought January is winter, it shouldn't be humid, but it could be humid and very hot. So those two reasons, I feel like I may not be able to run a sub 5 hour. The cut-off is 6 hours, so I think as long as I can finish within the cut-off, I'll be happy with that marathon. Also, because it's a long way away, I also have to consider the travelling to get there and also the time difference. So all of that could mean I might not run a sub 5 hour marathon, but I will train for it, aim for it, do my best and see what happens like I normally do. I hope it goes better than expected, but we will see. So that's my marathon goal for January. It's coming up quite soon actually. It's only 9 weeks away. That's why I had to get back into training very quickly. Ever since training for my very first marathon about 2 years ago, Hong Kong Marathon has been on my list to run. It's going to be a special one to run it. My parents are from Hong Kong, so we visited kind of a few times and when we were kids, so it would be very special to me to run the Hong Kong Marathon. And to enter into the race, it's a ballot system, so I haven't actually been entering before. Only for this year I decided I'm going to start trying to get in and run the marathon before I get to the point where I don't want to run marathons anymore. So I thought I'll do it sooner rather than later, or at least try to get in sooner rather than later. So I entered in about August time and I got in. I got a place to run Hong Kong Marathon. As with some things in life, there's not always going to be the perfect time to do certain things. Sometimes when the opportunities come up, I feel like I just have to say yes in case it doesn't come up again in the future. So this is another one like the Chicago Marathon. It came up and I just said yes, I'm doing it. So I've not really known for that long that I'll be doing the Hong Kong Marathon. Like I say, the ballot opened in August. I think we got results in September and it's November now and the marathon's in January. So a very short time to kind of prepare and think ahead. But yeah, like I say, sometimes you just have to go for the opportunity, and like I say, it'll be very special, so I hope it goes well. My mum's quite excited about it already. She's always saying, I'll come with you, I'll come and support you, I'll look after your bag and things like that. So yeah, she's quite excited. So Morton was one of the sponsors at the Amsterdam Marathon, so they were giving out these gels. So I took one at the end because they were just handing them out. I've never had Morton before, so I thought I would take well, the one that was given to us on this run today. Leaving it till kind of towards the end of the run to try it, just in case my body rejects it or something. I usually have the High Five gels. They're really good, I really enjoy them, and they're very affordable, but I thought I'll try this one as it's there. It kind of a bit surprised when I took my first kind of mouthful of this gel. I'm used to the High Five one, which is quite runny, quite liquidy, but this one's almost a bit like jelly, like quite thick, so I wasn't expecting that. It tastes quite nice actually, it's not too sweet or anything, so taste is good, but just the texture I was a bit surprised by. It kind of maybe a bit less messy than High Five, because it doesn't kind of leak around or get onto my fingers as easily, so less sticky. And this one is 40 grams rather than, I think the High Five ones are 30 grams. But yeah, so far they kind of taste quite nice, but I think normally they're quite expensive, and I go through a lot of gels through training and on for the actual marathons, so I probably won't be getting the Morton ones, but it was nice to try. I just thought I'll just share that with you. 26k done. Felt quite good. I felt like I had enough energy to get through it, and my feet were kind of hurting a bit towards the end, but I think that's just quite normal after a long run. But everything feels good. So I'm quite happy with today's run. Yeah, only 9 weeks until my next marathon. Next week's going to be a 29k, so I'll have to see how that goes. But yeah, hopefully you enjoyed my little update on what's going on with me and my plans. Thank you so much for following me along, and thank you as always for just watching my videos. I will speak to you soon, and yeah, my name is Uni. Take care and bye for now.